Hello, Year 5, and welcome to the 7th English lesson in a series of 10 based on Sean Tan's The Arrival and the theme of community. Let's get started. So, on to our starter task. How many words can you make from butterflies? Take the individual letters, mix them up if you need to, and create some new words. You've got one B, one U, one F, one L, one S, one I, and one R. You also have two T's and two E's to play with. I've added some points to this. If you can create 5 words, you can get 10 points. If you can create 10 words, you get 20 points. If you can get 15 words, it's 30. Do you see a pattern? 20 words is 40 points. And if you can get more than 20 words, 100 points for you. Well done. You may wish to play this against another member of your family. See who gets more points. Over to you. Pause the video if you need to give yourself more time. Here are some of the ones I came up with. Butter, flies, lie, flutter, and slit. I bet you could find many more than me. Well done. Okay, now that we're warmed up, on to today's lesson. Make sure, please, that you've got something to write with and something to write on. So in today's lesson, as we're building our skills to be able to write an informal letter, we're going to have a look at how we can use adverbials to structure our writing. We've already looked at how we can make deliberate word choices. We've looked at how we can include feelings and thoughts and actions. And now we need to be able to order that so that when we deliver our letter and we write it, it makes sense and it flows. We're going to be particularly using adverbs. But what is an adverb? Stop the video now so you can have some time to think. Can you remember what one is? Welcome back. An adverb is a word that describes an adjective, a verb, or another adverb. That's quite a lot. Let's have a look at this in action. Here's a simple sentence. I have a very old house. Can you pick out the adjective, the verb, and the adverb? Pause the video so you've got time to think. Here's the answer. So our adjective is the word old. That's describing the noun, which is the house. That's old, the adjective. The verb, so the doing, the action part, the being part of the sentence, is the word have. To have something. And the adverb is the word very. In this sentence, it's describing the adjective. Adverbs also tell us how, when, where, how often, or how much. Have a read of our sentence below. What is our adverb doing? Very. I have a very old house. That's right. It's telling us how much. How old is it? It's very old. But today we're going to focus on these adverbials of time place, and of number. Have a little look at the words below in the grid. Which ones do you think might be adverbials of time, or adverbials of place, or adverbials of number? Create your own table using the headings like I have: adverbials of time, adverbials of place, adverbials of number. And take the time to add each of the words and phrases below under the correct heading. The answers will be revealed shortly. Welcome back. Let's see how you got on. There we go. So adverbials of time: later that day, tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Adverbials of place: in the market, outside, nearby. Adverbials of number: once, secondly, lastly. They can give us the order, the numerical order of things. Pause the video now to see if you can come up with 2 more words or phrases that we could add to each column. We're now What a great part of the story. We really feel the hustle and bustle. We're going to watch the next part of the animation now. And this will give us an idea of the next part of our story. So our character, the arrival, has met 2 out of the 3 of the characters that we have seen in our previous lesson. And now is focused on finding a job so that he could earn some money to help bring his wife and child to this new city. Let's see how he gets on. So now we've seen that part of the story. We're going to use our adverbials to describe what happened and structure it using adverbials of time, place, and number. Here's what I've come up with so far. Once I had woken up properly and prepared myself for the day, I headed into the city. In the market, I could hear all the sellers calling to their customers. By 2 o'clock, I had visited several shop owners asking if there were any jobs available to me. I needed to find work, and soon. It seemed nobody was able to help. So, in describing those order of events, I've used an adverbial of number, giving it its place in the day. I've used an adverbial of place to put my character in a particular setting. I've then indicated that there's been a change in the time by 2 o'clock. And these give my writing order. I wonder if you can spot another adverbial in the last sentence. I wonder if you can see another adverbial in the last two sentences. It may not be at the front this time. Did you spot it? Let's see at the end of this sentence here. And soon tells me when I need to get that job for. Soon. Stop the video now so that you can write your own sentences that describe this part of the story using our adverbials of time, place, or number. Feel free to magpie some of my ideas, to take some of my ideas if you need some help. Let's have another go. So I'm thinking about this next part of the story. He gets the job as the postman, but not straight away, not after not being so great at another job. I'm going to look through my list of adverbials of time, place, and number, have a little look at which ones I haven't already used. Now, if you came up with some extras at the beginning of this task, you may have a wider range to select from. Let's see what I've got so far. Later that day, I came across a man who looked like he might have something for me. However, after a few hours, it was clear that I wasn't any good at it. Outside of the city hall, I came across another opportunity. Tomorrow, I shall start my new job as a postman. Maybe this time I'll be good at something. So this time, I've got quite a few adverbials of time, ordered things, and only one adverbial of place. That's okay, I've still got a range. And I've expanded on this adverbial of place. So over here in my list, I just had the word outside, but I wanted to give that more detail. Outside of the city hall, outside of the post office. Pause the video now to write your next set of sentences. Try 3 for this set of images. Let's have a look at it all together. Once I'd woken up properly and prepared myself for the day, I headed into the city. In the market, I could hear all the sellers calling to their customers. By 2 o'clock, I had visited several shop owners asking if there were any jobs available for me. I needed to find work, and soon. It seemed nobody was able to help. Later that day, I came across a man who looked like he might have something for me. However, after a few hours, it was clear that I wasn't any good at it. Outside of the city hall, I came across another opportunity. Tomorrow, I shall start my new job as a postman. Maybe this time I'll be good at something. Read back through your two paragraphs. How well do they flow together? You may need to go back and adjust it or add in another sentence to help them flow together. You may have noticed that there might be a big gap in the timeline that you've created. Or you may have found an adverbial that fits better into your writing. That's it for today. We've worked hard at using these adverbials to structure some of our writing. And tomorrow we'll be looking at the overall structure of a letter and where these adverbials might be found. Once again, great work today, and I'll see you tomorrow.